New ways of teaching history. Modern educators face challenges engaging students who are accustomed to digital technology rather than traditional textbooks and lectures. While debates continue between traditionalists and digital advocates, historical evidence shows students' poor performance on history tests isn't new. Similar concerns existed in 1917. The solution isn't just rewriting textbooks, but adapting teaching methods to modern learners. PowerPoint presentations incorporating multimedia elements like photos, maps, audio, and video clips help engage technology-driven students and improve information retention. However, some academic historians resist this change, citing concerns about technological limitations and the learning curve for new tools. TV addiction. Television consumption in industrialized nations averages 3 hours daily, amounting to 9 years of a 75-year lifespan. Research shows TV viewing triggers our biological, orienting response to movement and sound, making it naturally engaging. While viewers report feeling relaxed during watching, they experience decreased alertness and concentration afterward. Studies reveal heavy viewers are more anxious, less happy, and more prone to obesity than light viewers. When deprived of TV, many people experience withdrawal symptoms. Though debate exists whether TV addiction meets clinical criteria, approximately 10% of adults self-identify as TV addicts, suggesting a significant impact on society. The beginning of intelligence. Intelligence, while difficult to define precisely, generally involves the capacity to learn from experience and adapt to one's environment. Research approaches divide between psychometricians, who study task correlations, and developmentalists, who examine age-related changes. Evidence suggests both general intellectual capacity and specific skills exist, with fluid abilities, abstract thinking, peaking in early adulthood, and crystallized abilities, knowledge-based, continuing to develop. Piaget revolutionized understanding of cognitive development by emphasizing children as active learners, though his strict stage-based theory has been largely revised. Modern views recognize both general intelligence and specific skills developed through active engagement with the environment. Consecutive and simultaneous translation. Translation involves converting meaning between languages, with interpreters handling spoken/signed language and translators working with written text. Two main types of oral translation exist: consecutive, interpreter speaks after the original speaker, and simultaneous, interpreter translates in real time with slight delay. Simultaneous interpretation, developed after World War II, requires exceptional multitasking skills as interpreters listen and speak simultaneously while maintaining semantic accuracy. Research shows optimal interpretation occurs at 100 to 120 words per minute, with accuracy declining at higher speeds. Despite its crucial role in international communication, interpreting remains understudied, particularly regarding problem areas and coping strategies. The exploration of Mars. Mars exploration began with telescopic observations in the late 1800s, when Schiaparelli and Lowell mistakenly identified canals, sparking public imagination about Martian life. Modern exploration through space probes, starting with Mariner 4 in 1965, revealed a cratered, barren landscape. Key discoveries include Mars's lack of a global magnetic field, which led to atmosphere loss and climate change from warm-wet to cold-dry. While current surface conditions can't support liquid water, evidence suggests ancient Mars was wet. Recent research focuses on subsurface environments for potential microbial life, as surface radiation levels would be lethal to known life forms. Making copier. Chester Carlson's invention of xerography revolutionized document reproduction. While copying evolved from language to writing to Gutenberg's press, the first true mechanical copier was James Watt's copying press in 1780. Early modern copiers like Thermofax had significant drawbacks, using expensive treated papers and producing poor-quality copies. In 1959, Carlson's Haloid Xerox 914 breakthrough enabled sharp, permanent copies on ordinary paper. Despite initial rejection by major corporations, xerography became immensely successful, producing trillions of copies annually. Despite his wealth from the invention, Carlson lived modestly and donated most of his fortune to charity. The dinosaurs' footprints and extinction. Scientists propose that dinosaurs' rise to dominance, like their extinction, was triggered by an asteroid impact 202 million years ago. Research led by Paul Olson studied dinosaur footprints, ichnotaxa, in ancient North American lake beds, revealing a dramatic shift at the Triassic-Jurassic boundary. Evidence includes an iridium anomaly and fern spike, similar to markers found at the later Cretaceous extinction event. The impact likely eliminated competition, allowing dinosaurs to flourish through ecological release, similar to how modern reptiles grow larger on isolated islands. The impact crater may be the Manicouagan structure in Quebec, though its dating remains uncertain. Rural Transport Plan of Practical Action. Practical Action works with poor communities to develop sustainable transport solutions. While national plans focus on road networks, many rural areas remain isolated, with only 30% having access to all-weather roads. The organization implements various solutions including road building, cycle trailers, and aerial ropeways for mountainous regions. Their innovative cycle trailers can carry up to 200 kilograms and serve multiple purposes, including as ambulances and mobile libraries. The program emphasizes community-driven development, helping villagers improve access to markets, healthcare, and education. These solutions have significantly reduced isolation and improved livelihoods in rural communities. The history of tea. Tea's history begins in China, legendarily discovered by Emperor Shennong in 2737 BC. It became China's national drink during the Tang Dynasty, 618 to 906 AD, and spread to Japan through Buddhist monks. Europeans first encountered tea through Portuguese traders, but Dutch traders first commercially imported it in 1606. In Britain, tea initially remained a luxury due to high taxation, leading to widespread smuggling. The tax reduction in 1784 made tea affordable for all classes. The end of the East India Company's Chinese trade monopoly in 1834 led to tea cultivation in India and the era of tea clipper races. Tools for ancient writing. Writing tools evolved from pictographs on clay tokens, 8500 BC, to sophisticated systems. The Greeks developed writing styluses for wax tablets, while Chinese invented Indian ink 2697 BC. Romans created primitive fountain pens from bamboo stems. Various writing surfaces emerged: papyrus, parchment, and later, wood fiber paper. China, 105 AD. The quill pen dominated for over 1,000 years, from 700 AD, particularly using bird feathers. Ink formulas improved, with a stable iron salt composition developed by 400 AD. Gutenberg's printing press, 1436, revolutionized writing, leading to modern letter forms and cursive writing. Communication in science. Scientific communication faces numerous challenges in conveying complex research to the public. Terminology often causes confusion, with words like relativity, uncertainty principle, and theory having specific scientific meanings that differ from common usage. The complexity of modern science and evolving research makes it difficult for even scientists to fully grasp all implications. Solutions include better understanding of indirect scientific evidence, appropriate evaluation standards for policy-relevant research, and acceptance that science can be complex. Clear statistical significance and proper explanations are crucial, while acknowledging that developing research may not have simple answers. Why good ideas fail. The case study examines TF, a retail giant's failed attempt to rebrand as TF's next stage, targeting 60-plus consumers with age-friendly products. Despite positive market research and a $40 million store renovation, the venture failed because customers felt the stores reminded them of aging. Two experts explain the failure. Donna Sturgis emphasizes the importance of understanding emotional connections in branding, while Alex Lee highlights that consumers are attracted to aspirational brands rather than those reflecting their actual circumstances. Both experts suggest that traditional market research can miss crucial emotional and psychological factors affecting consumer behavior. The return of monkey life. In Costa Rica and Mexico, scientists study how monkeys adapt to human-modified landscapes. At Hacienda La Pacifica, howler monkeys survive in windbreak forests on cattle ranches, while Santa Rosa National Park demonstrates successful forest regeneration leading to primate population recovery. Howlers thrive due to their adaptable leaf-eating diet, faster reproduction, and ability to process plant toxins. They even flourish in a Mexican cacao plantation, where shade trees provide habitat. Scientists like Alejandro Estrada suggest that monkeys benefit agricultural environments through seed dispersal and soil fertilization, proposing a new perspective where conservation and farming can coexist beneficially. The value of research into mite harvestmen. Mite harvestmen, tiny relatives of daddy longlegs, are providing valuable insights into Earth's geological history. Scientists, led by Harvard's Gonzalo Giribet, study these ancient creatures because they're found globally but have limited mobility, making them excellent indicators of continental drift. Unlike dispersive species like cockroaches, mite harvestmen typically stay within 50-mile ranges. DNA analysis reveals their evolutionary patterns closely match continental movements, such as the separation of Gondwana. A fascinating example is Florida's harvestman species, whose closest relatives are in West Africa, confirming Florida's ancient connection to Africa during Pangaea. The art of deception. Dr. Paul Ekman's groundbreaking research on deception began 40 years ago when he discovered microexpressions, fleeting facial displays of concealed emotions lasting less than 1/15th of a second. His work proved Charles Darwin's theory that basic emotional expressions are universal across cultures. While only 50 naturals out of 15,000 tested could naturally detect these expressions, Ekman developed training methods now used by FBI, CIA, and other agencies. His work inspired a TV series about fictional Dr. Cal Lightman, though Ekman ensures the show maintains scientific accuracy while acknowledging different types of deception and ethical considerations. Book review: Triumph of the City. Edward Glazer's Triumph of the City celebrates urban areas as engines of growth and innovation, challenging 2 centuries of anti-city sentiment. While acknowledging early industrial cities' problems, Glazer argues that cities effectively transformed themselves through deliberate planning, like Haussmann's Paris, or evolution, like New York. He criticizes suburban sprawl as environmentally and socially inefficient and argues against restrictive urban planning that drives up property prices. The book presents cities as environmentally friendly, economically vital spaces that attract the poor seeking better opportunities, making a compelling case for urban living despite historical resistance. The Strange World of Sight. The article explores how perception isn't simply about receiving visual information, but involves complex interactions between sensory input and memory. Historical figures like Locke, Newton, and von Helmholtz recognized that perception differs from reality, with von Helmholtz proposing that we make unconscious inferences based on past knowledge. Cases like Sidney Bradford and Mike May, who gained sight after lifelong blindness, demonstrate how vision requires pre-existing knowledge to interpret what we see. Brain imaging confirms that perception activates both sensory and memory regions, suggesting that we see what we expect to see rather than objective reality. Should space be explored by robots or by humans? The debate over human versus robotic space exploration presents valid arguments for both approaches. While human presence increases mission complexity, cost, and safety requirements, humans offer unique advantages: public engagement, problem-solving abilities, and adaptability to unexpected situations. Modern robotics, though increasingly sophisticated, still can't match human versatility. The future likely lies in collaboration between humans and robots, cobots, as demonstrated by proposals like the Mars Outposts approach. Ultimately, if space is to be more than just a scientific frontier, human presence is essential for colonization, which could fundamentally change humanity's perspective of itself and Earth. Whale culture. Research reveals that whales exhibit cultural behaviors, challenging the notion that culture is exclusively human. Humpback whales demonstrate cultural transmission through their evolving songs, while killer whales show distinct cultural groups through their resident and transient populations. These groups maintain unique dialects learned through social interaction rather than genetics. Whale culture appears to have evolved as a survival mechanism, allowing groups to share vital information about food sources across generations. The existence of post-reproductive female killer whales, like human grandmothers, suggests their important role in transmitting cultural knowledge essential for group survival.